Idemitsu Asia Motorsports Hour starts our countdown to the Asia Road Racing Championship. Honda Asia Dream Team with SHOWA revealed their rider selections for 2021. Victor Racing Team confirm a return to the ARRC for Anthony West. And we examine how race control deal with the thorny issues surrounding rough riding and racing incidents.
The races are getting very tight, and if you leave them an inch of a space, the riders will try.
Honda Asia Dream Racing with SHOWA or HADR is a relatively new team on the Asia road racing circuit. Formed when Honda's Asia and Oceania subsidiaries joined forces, the team focuses on big ticket events and big ticket riders. And if the last full season of the ARRC is anything to go by, HADR are the only Honda team with a chance of competing in the top end of the SP1000. In 2019, Zakwan Zaidi was third in the championship. The team finished 12th in the All Japan Road Race Championship and did well in endurance races, 11th at the Suzuka 8-hour, 2nd at Sepang. Then came COVID-19. So to catch up with current plans, we're speaking to HADR team manager Makoto Tamada, a former MotoGP and World Superbike competitor. And firstly, Makoto, thanks for joining us on the Idemitsu Asia Motorsports Hour. Can I immediately ask what your confirmed team lineups are for the 2021 road racing season?
So the lineup riders similar so last year, so means Zakwan and Gary. And Zakwan and Gary last year only one time riding the new CBR, but of course not enough. It's
there's a lot of excitement surrounding this new CBR. The 1000 bike. I know in Australia, Troy Herfus has had a successful debut with it. Zakwan's very excited. What are the improvements of the new vehicle for this season?
So yes, so Troy was very fast this year too. And this new bike, still we don't understand so everything, yeah, because not riding. But I think so our machine is best package. Because the suspension is SHOWA and the brake is Nissin and the ECU is ARRC. So this package machine already get good result in all Japan race.
What are your expectations coming into the Asia Road Racing Championship in particular? Are you expecting to be competing for the title? Because it's very competitive at the 1000cc category.
Zakwan is his target only in the champion. He's understand this target. Of course, not easy this target. And Gary, so he riding the 1000 bike in the first year. And of course, on the Gary side, so necessarily the beginning is understanding the 1000 bike. But we confident we can unlock Zakwan and the Gary potential.
In terms of the endurance races, you did really well, particularly at Sepang in 2019. Is endurance part of your target as well? Will you be racing at Suzuka in November at the race there?
So of course our team joint race, everything is very important. Asian road race and All Japan race and the Suzuka 8-hour race. But so anyway, so our team joint race, everything is very important.
What the long-term ambition is for the team? What is the realistic goal? Are you hoping to push Jerry and Zakwan onto World Championship stage?
Yes, I hope. But so this team, the project is develop the riders. We can be active in the world, but not only riders. So and mechanics too.
So it's an all-encompassing project for the Honda Dream Asia with SHOWA Racing Team. Our thanks to Makoto Tamada. We look forward to seeing you on the grid in June.
Zakwan, the final round, 2 more races this weekend. How are you looking forward to the first one today?
I don't want to think too much because now I just focus to win this race. Sure, it's not easy, but I will do my best. And also the title hope still have, so I will do my best.
because I think the neutrals would love it to go onto the final race. We are underway. Aslan Shah, oh, he gets a bit of a wheelie and loses a lot of time. And coming in around the outside of Aslan Shah, who drops from P2 to P3, he just about recovered it. But that was a scary start for Aslan Shah Kamrazaman. Perhaps a little bit too gung-ho.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a little bit too gung-ho, but I'll tell you what, he's in a much better position than Brock Parks is, who's way at the back at the moment there. He's going around the outside as Brock Parks, but he's got 3, 4, 5 guys that he needs to get past to challenge with that front group. This is not the start that Parks wanted, but I'll tell you what, one thing's for sure is that the number 25, Aslan Shah, will be pretty happy that Brock Parks isn't in front of him at the moment. Oh, big moment there too as he hit the brakes for Aslan Shah.
He had one.
And he's gone wide.
Aslan Shah's gone wide. He had one in the warm-up lap, but he's got himself back into P4. Tell you what, we know that he goes to the very limits, Aslan Shah Kamrazaman. Zakwan Zaidi stands up and is in the lead. It's a battle royale with Zakwan. Titipong has dropped to P4. Man going in front of him is Ratapong Willarat, but it'll be Zakwan who leads around the corner. And Aslan Shah Kamrazaman has got Brock Parks for close company. Going through first is Zakwan, but in overall championship, places 5 and 6, Aslan Shah Kamrazaman and Brock Parks are the ones we're looking at. There is the championship leader, Brock Parks, and I suppose, for security's sake, he just wants to keep Aslan Shah Kamrazaman within his sight.
Zakwan Zaidi, he's doing a really good job. Interesting battle between these two guys. Can't wait to see what happens after about another 5 laps between those rear tyres. The soft tyre on the back of the Yamaha there should, in theory, start to go backwards, whereas Zakwan Zaidi should go forwards. But that's all about testing and tyre choice and whether you can set your bike up and make it work. Perhaps that's what Apiwath has done.
For Zakwan, 166 points to his title, 46 points behind the championship leader. He needs both Parks and Aslan Shah to crash out, which is unlikely to happen, but you never predict anything in this sport. I've learned that one too many times.
Never say never. Oh, we've got a faller. That is, that could be Parks. No, that could be Parks. No, it's not. It is. Brock Parks is down.
Brock Parks is down, and that really is a catastrophic moment for the Yamaha Team Racing ASEAN team and Brock Parks. Look at that, Steve Martin. Zakwan Zaidi will be really bemoaning those 2 DNFs that he had in race 1 on both occasions on his home Grand Prix in Sepang. If he had only picked up even moderate points, he'd be right in the championship challenge himself, Zakwan.
Yeah, absolutely, he would be. And, you know, that team next year, watch out, because they will be back strong with another rider. Unsure as to who that rider is at this point in time, but a 2-bike team is what this man needs. Zakwan Zaidi, with someone else to bounce information off, will make that team strong. With the new Honda CBR Triple R that's coming out next year as well, how many R's do you like? Well, Honda think they need 3. And I'll tell you what, that will be an absolute weapon too. Zakwan Zaidi now, as he heads down, he's got this.
So Zakwan into corner 12. A consummately wonderful performance from Zakwan. Aslan Shah Kamrazaman trails in second, but what a 20 points that will be. Honda take it, BMW second, Titipong in third on the Kawasaki. Fabulous performance from Zakwan. Sadly, it means he cannot win the title, but he's won this race, and there is a wedding present to remember. Whew. So Zakwan gets a big hug from the missus. Well done, that pays for the groceries for the next few weeks.
Well, he's got another ride tomorrow as well, but I tell you what, that was just a brilliant ride by him. And you can see Tamada there, Makoto Tamada, of course, he knows how to ride a motorcycle, one of the fastest guys in the paddock. Famous MotoGP rider, raced in many championships, won World Superbike races. If you're ever going to have a man on your side, that's the man to have on your side.
After this short break, we look forward to round 3 of the Australian Superbike Championships. Welcome back to the Asia Motorsports Hour. We have what we call the Idemitsu Inquest that looks back and forward at what's been going on in the world of motorsport. Ron Hogg, the promotions director from TWMR, is alongside me. And Ron, not a lot of racing coming up or in the last week, so it gives us a chance to look at some rules and regulations. We had the All Japan Championship starting, where the wet weather caused all kinds of problems, and it seemed as though it was the riders who were calling the shots as to when a race is stopped. What's the proper regulation there?
I know the race direction has requested, again, it's a question of resources, I feel. And in national championships, obviously, they don't have the same kind of resources of the World Championship. And so communication, the delay of communication from the marshal post to the race control affects this decision. In MotoGP, they've come up with rules always evolving. And in fact, Sepang Malaysia was one of the reasons why they came up with a flag, where in Sepang you have the north side, the south side. Very often it's completely wet on the south side, completely dry on the north side. And a certain rider named Marc Marquez crashed back in 2011 or 12. And they realized that, okay, marshals need to be able to give notifications to the riders immediately, even before race control, because message going this way, going up, coming down, 30 seconds gone. So they came up with a flag, a white flag with a red vertical on it, for marshals to show that this spot is wet, you know. And I think that's really, really useful. With the All Japan Championship, the rules in Japan are a little bit different than the rest of the world. They are still very much traditional in a way. You know, they start the race with an ambulance following all the bikes. That's not now done anywhere else in the world. So this question about the rider stopping the race is, obviously the rider feels it's too dangerous to ride. And I think he was leading the race either way, you know, when that happened. So some people may call it as an unfair call, but you know, it's always very difficult to say what is right and what is wrong when it comes to this. And I feel personally it's just more communication between the riders and the teams with the race direction on how to resolve this problem.
Another incident occurred in Qatar at the MotoGP, where there's been an accusation by John Mir that Jack Miller drove him off the circuit. Now, that is a racing incident, or is that something that race control and stewards have really got to take seriously?
Well, I honestly think it's a racing incident in my just a few ones like that. You know, the races are getting very tight. Everybody wants to be ahead, and if you leave them an inch of a space, the riders will try, and that's what we saw with Miller and May. But you know, both riders would have their opinion about it. I think there was no further action from race direction as well. So, you know, it's the way we are brought up now. Everything is questioned, everything is analyzed over and over again, and finally it's racing. And if we can't find a pure intent, you know, let them race.
That leads nicely into a Capri incident where the 150cc was marked by an accusation of elbows, which was perceived to be a racing incident. Again, it's a fine line, it's a fine margin. Yeah,
again, I think with Capri, I think the difficulty they're facing is that the number of riders involved in these cases are a large number, you know, and in MotoGP, probably looking at 2-3 riders. In Capri, the pack is always 8 to 12 bikes, and to analyze every single incident, I think is the challenge now. And I think the race direction has come up with a solution. But at the same time, you know, if there was evidence or something of that sort to show that there was intent or unsporting behavior, teams and riders should bring this up to the race control and talk about it, you know. So often we don't see them doing this, but at the back, a lot of accusations are flying around. So nobody wants to be the bad guy in that sense, you know.
Great answer. Listen, moving on to some good news and some bad news. Calendars have been released, and we've had some news from Thailand Ron, that the Brick Championship, the one based out in Boram, they've now got a 4-race season starting in the first weekend in May. Good news indeed.
Yeah, good news. Nice to know that all the national championships now are picking up, and I think it's finally, as I've always mentioned, national championships are very, very important for all riders, and great to know that Brick is now running their championship, and it will give all the riders involved in, for us, the Asian Championship, mileage and practice before they come on to race with us.
That's the good news. The bad news is the World Endurance Championship that was due to start isn't.
Okay, so, you know, I think we still got to live in this current situation of looking at COVID as judging how everything is planned. And it's truly unfortunate that the Bordeaux has been postponed or cancelled at this moment, but I'm sure the organizers will start looking at what options they have in coming up with a new calendar.
We also need to mention that Suzuka has been shifted from its regular July date to early November, assuming that calendar is ratified. What difference will that make to the riders? Suzuka in November is very different from Suzuka in July.
I think total difference. I mean, it'll be like, you know, you're racing in the same circuit in a completely different environment. I've always loved Suzuka 8 Hours for that intensity it has and the heat. You know, it's the track reaches 70 degrees temperature during summer in Suzuka. So, but November it's cold. You know, it's going to be very cold. So, whatever tires and strategies the team had for running a race in July is now out of the basket. I think it's going to be a completely new race. And I think if the race happens in November, I'm expecting some surprises because no one has ever thought or prepared that this race will run in November. So, you know, tire selection, setup of the bike, everything. It's going to be interesting if the race happens.
Moving on to a series that will be going ahead, the ASBK Australian Superbikes Championship reaches its third round officially, second round of actual racing. They're moving to Wakefield Park for round 2. In the Superbikes, Wayne Maxwell and Mike Jones on Ducatis leading the way. Ron, Ducati's making a big mark.
Well, they've got a very, very strong bike, Ducati, and I think very good riders as well, both Wayne Maxwell, ex-champion, Mike Jones, also ex-champion, but it's only the second race. I think Troy Herfors won one of the races in round 2. He's maybe third in the championship at this moment. And judging from the RRR strength of the Honda, with Yuki Takahashi dominating the championship in Japan, he's got a strong package with him. And if he can put up everything together, he will be a challenge to the two boys on Ducati.
And in the Supersport 600, a real good battle going on between Tom Edwards and Brock Pearson. They won one race apiece, second in one race as well. Tom leading purely because he was fastest in qualification.
I think, again, equal challenge, equal bikes. The rider with more experience in that sense maybe has the edge at this moment with Tom Edwards because he's come back off from racing in Europe before. But, you know, Brock's raced with us in Asia as well, so he's a hardy guy. So it will be an interesting battle with these two guys. But I think there's one or two other riders who probably in the 600 has not reached the level or that consistency yet to challenge them. So we may see that pool of more than 2 riders fighting for the championship in the later races.
Our thanks to Ron Hogg, the promotions director of TWMR. You can catch the ASBK highlights. They have a YouTube channel. You can watch them over the weekend and we'll bring you the best of the highlights next week on the Idemitsu Wing. One of the Asia Road Racing Championship's more controversial figures is set to return in 2021, and he has titles on his mind. A new feature on the Idemetsu Asia Motorsports Hour as we count down to the 2021 season starting in June is a selected Team of the Week. We kickstart the series with a look at the Victor Racing team, named after the sadly departed Victor Lim. Victor Racing changed its name from WeBank Ikazuki Racing ahead of the 2019 season in respect for the influence of Victor Lim. In various guises, largely with the Akino brand, Victor have introduced some notable riders to the championship. Makoto Inagaki was a long-time racer. Australia's Ant West, a run-up at Supersport 600, a season where we also saw South African Sheridan Moraes, Switzerland Randy Krummenacker. 2019 saw Javier Malloy, Liam McDonald, Kazuma Suda, amongst others. To explain Victor Racing team's selection policy and reveal good plans for 2021, we're joined by Chandra Mohan, the team principal, team owner of Victor Racing. And Mohan, welcome to the show. Firstly, I hear you've got some exciting news about the team lineups that you have for this coming season at both Superbike and 600cc. Can you reveal your teams for us?
Yeah, we want to, for 600cc, Sato Furuyama and Japanese rider from Spain, Javi. For ASB, Anthony West from Australia, and China rider from Li Xinping. This year we're joining 2021, this year's season.
That's really, really exciting news. Now, you've got a combination there of established riders, Javier Malloy, Ant West, and a couple of new names for us. What is the philosophy behind Victor Racing and the international names that you bring to us?
Since 2001, we already start from the racing from the day until now. We are all the team crew, all the different country, because a couple of we are from start to the beginning from until now. That's why our team is all from multi-race team, all from different states. We are joining from Australia, Spain. We are to choose all the different cultures from other country riders we choose.
What is the thinking behind going international rather than using local Southeast Asian racers? Is there a particular reason why you go international?
Because from start from the race, we don't have any local riders, fast rider, because all the fast rider factory already choose. That's why we have to choose international rider, because they are more free, can come to like challenger. We also want to like fight with the factory team, because anyway we are the private team. We want to, because we not any sponsorship from the outside. We just want to bring up the race. Want to for long term with us, since we have to want to focus for the racing, want a good rider, want to win. This is a mention for us.
Can I ask about the influence of Victor Lim?
Me and Victor is a friend from beginning, because since 2001 I'm joining the Extreme Moto from until now, because since we racing, me and Victor together, we are compared together, we do the team every year. We start to do the racing. We know much to we want to race because we like racing, like one family. We are come from different place, like different state. We come join us like a couple of the team crew, all multi-race. When you come, we one family, like we want to race in the ARRC in the team together.
That's a great answer. What are your expectations for this season? Do you think you can compete for the title at 1000 and at 600cc?
For 600cc, we want to win the podium. For ASB 1000cc, we want to win, and championship also want the title. We won this year for Anthony West. We want to do.
So very ambitious. Thank you to Chandra Mohan from the Victor Racing team. Best luck when the season starts in June.
Patrick Lee is a teammate to Anthony West.
Race 2 of
Here we go.
round 1, live from the Chang International Circuit, and we are off.
Clean start, and that was a good start from Zach Wan. He goes first into turn 1. I think that's Aslan slotting in behind him.
Yeah, looks like he had a small gap from Aslan then.
Yeah, he did. That was.
Yeah.
He did get the start absolutely spot on then.
Yeah.
And that's Desha and Aslan side by side.
West.
Yeah, and that's Anthony West in there
Fourth, I think.
in fourth, yeah.
Yeah.
And Yoda Steer just behind him.
Yeah.
Anthony West thinks he ought to win this race. He felt quite hard done by with Tittipong's overtake. It was quite a tough move, and forced Anthony West offline, and he wasn't able to catch up. And then, of course, he got into the battle with Aslan.
By the way, where is Tittipong? I think that's spotting. Yesterday, Anthony West had a good start. He was leading, right? But today he had a bad start. Okay, he's going to be like what, 5th again. So all the races that he raced.
Yeah, great. You could say this is Anthony. This is classic Anthony West, right?
Yeah.
He's hanging around.
Yeah, he'll be 5th or 6th from there onwards.
And he doesn't very often make a good start either.
Yeah, but yesterday was the first time he started first, I think.
Yeah, he was at the front for very early on yesterday.
Yeah, but this is more like Anthony West now.
Yeah, it is. He was disappointed not to win yesterday. I had a chat with him in the paddock, and he really was disappointed.
Oh, I think Aslan.
Yeah, he's got a problem.
Something around the gear levers, I think. Yeah, Aslan, yeah, you can see the gear lever.
Yeah. No, it's Tittipong.
Oh, Tittipong, I'm sorry. I think that's something wrong with the machine.
Yeah, it's a mechanical problem there for Tittipong.
Yesterday's winner looks like he's retiring.
Yeah.
That's it, and that's left Deschamps with a gap at the front.
Yeah.
1.5 seconds he's gone through ahead of Anthony West, who finished second yesterday behind Tittipong.
You're looking at the front two here, Desha Kreisat and Anthony West.
Here comes Westy.
Yep, and Decha.
Green bike of Aslan Shah in 3rd.
Yeah, so
now it's up to Decha to follow Anthony West.
Yeah, let's see what he can do.
What he still have.
Anthony West looks very happy on that brand new R6, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Aslan Shah looking for a chance to get past Anthony West.
There's 3 laps left now.
Yeah. So looks like then getting faster and faster. You can see the lap time is everybody is now doing 39. Aslan a bit slow there coming out.
Yeah, he's been caught, Aslan.
Yeah. Looks like Anthony West have a breather a bit there, maybe half a second there.
A little bit in the way that the race was
there, you can see Ratapong now coming back there.
Yeah. But I think Anthony West is going to be able to manage this now. He's just got a little gap on the 2 Yamahas chasing him. And pushed Aslan back into 4th, yeah. Aslan.
Yeah, you can see Ratapong break and Zakwan. Again.
Zakwan.
I think
Ratapong.
Zakwan.
I think Zakwan went into too deep there, too fast. He can't do it.
Yeah, so
Anthony West has finished 1st, Desha Kreisat 2nd, Aslan Shah 3rd. We have got some green on the podium.
Yeah, we have indeed. 2 Yamahas.
Definitely not easy. It's so hot. The guys are fighting the whole way, and when one of the guys made a mistake, I really picked up the pace at that moment. I knew that was the chance we have to try to make a break, and it was hard work. The race they were fighting the whole way. I'm just happy they were behind me at the end because I was destroyed. So big thanks to the team, done an amazing job. Private bike on the podium. I think it's first. It's the best. So really happy with my team, and racing here is just awesome. It's always fun to be here, and when you're winning, it's a great feeling. So it's just too hot here.
Next week, we continue our countdown to the ARRC season, which is now less than 2 months away. Tick tock, the countdown is on.